Good evening, everyone. So, today, very quickly, we will try to understand how to start our writing task 2. Writing task 2, in my earlier videos, I have already said it is of 40 minutes and task 1 is of 20 minutes. So, when you have 40 minutes for essay writing, you should be very quick at knowing the facts, which can straight away give you 7.5. Most of the candidates look for tough words. I always tell them work upon relevant vocabulary, not on tough words. This I'll talk about later, but you should know what is the right approach of starting your essay. Let us imagine we are writing a topic that many students believe that disruptive students should be taught separately. However, others believe that teaching them with uniformity is the ultimate solution, as teachers cannot do any bias. The understanding of this question is that students, those who are naughty, they should be taught separately as they disturb other students too. However, other sort of fact says that no, it will be a very biased approach. All students should be taught under the same roof. See, as a candidate, if you do not understand what the question is, you can talk about naughty students. You can say that how hyperactive they are, and and then again they're not good, or you may write something irrelevant. It is advisable to read your question nicely. Your question is not only about disruptive students. Your question is very clear that according to some experts, disruptive students should be taught separately or they should be taught together. It's a very simple question. Now, if the question is, do you agree or disagree, which means your opinion is being asked. When your opinion is being asked, you have to select one. Either you make up your mind that, yes, I agree, disruptive students should be taught separately, or you disagree that, no, they should not be taught separately, they should be rather taught together. Approach, clarity in your mind is very important. Otherwise, you will continue to write mixed writing, which creates a lot of problem. So let's say right after this, we have selected that do we agree or disagree. In case you agree, I advise write everything in agreement. Do not even pick the other side of the topic. Why? Because you will always get confused. Try to get a lot of examples. I'll be discussing about patterns soon. But one thing is for clear, that if the topic is do you agree or disagree, it is very clear that you have to pick one. Either you agree to the topic or you disagree to the topic. Right after that, your job is that how many paras would be there in essay writing. In essay writing, you will have majorly 3 paras. If you have the topic, do you agree or disagree? You will have the first para of introduction, which will be of 4 to 5 lines. Then you will have the second para where you will agree, completely agree or disagree in almost 15 to 16 lines. And then you will be writing the conclusion of 5 to 6 lines. Now let us discuss all paras one by one. In introduction, as I have already mentioned earlier, no indirect introduction. You are not only writing about disruptive students. So if you write something like this, disruptive students create a lot of problem for other students, and they don't know how to sit and they keep on talking. So I think that yes, it is not good to teach them together. I would say this introduction is not bad, but this introduction is very frugal. When I say the word frugal means substandard, it is not as good as being expected. So you need to well plan your introduction. So straight introduction, you have been asked a question. So I think instead of writing just nowadays, many people believe that. I hate this word nowadays. You have some better startings, such as, I would say with the course of time, it is noticed. Or you have some starting, something like that. In the wake of 21st century, education has become very challenging. And many experts therefore believe that there should be different classrooms for different sort of students. Disruptive students may affect vulnerable students, weak students. For this reason, it will be a good idea if they are taught with different approach. You see what I have done to this introduction. I did not repeat the word taught separately. I have used the word different ways. I have not used the word nowadays. I have used the word or rather the phrase with the course of time. And there is no scope of writing anything extra. You need to be very, very careful that what are you writing. Right after introduction, if I agree to the topic, I need to again plan my second para, which I've already said should be of 15 to 16 lines. So when you write either agreement or disagreement, before you start writing, make your 2 points that this is my view 1 and this is my view 2. So your view 1 should be very, very clear that my view 1 is all about what is my first point. My view 2 is that what is my second point. So I agree that disruptive students should be taught separately. My view 1 could be that since some students are hyperactive, in spite of having a lot of talent, they fail to concentrate in the class. There could be many drawbacks. They may create an environment where rough teaching may take place, and teachers, because students are vulnerable, are not able to scold them openly. Gradually, the decorum of the class will be substandard, means will decline. Somewhere you want to write. So this is my view 1. Make sure that you pick one point and you explain that point nicely. Okay. Second point is, it is not good to criticize these students. However, it will be a great idea, having known their abilities for some other subjects. Class should be organized and conducted keeping their ability and different strategies for these students, which is known as remedial teaching. Teachers require certain remedial actions for these students. Unfortunately, these actions are not possible if they are taught together. For this reason, it is suggested they should be taught separately, or they should be taught with different strategies. This is my view 2. I've just given the explanation on my view 2. And though I'm talking verbally, I'm sure that you will, select better quality words and then again phrases and everything. So that is how you go by. View 1, view 2 need to be very, very clear that this is my view 1, this is my view 2. And right after that, you need to write down one conclusion. So one conclusion means your starting line should not be in conclusion, I would like to say. Instead, you should always write, in the end, I am convinced with the fact that each child is cut out for certain things. Hyperactive children, you're not writing the word disruptive students. Hyperactive children are equally talented. However, unfortunately, with their presence, other sort of students may not be benefited. And then you can conclude, in 2-3 lines, whatever you want to say. So this is my conclusion. You are suggesting, you're writing a lot of things. Your writing should be very clear. You need to understand, you're not writing it for yourself, you're writing it for the examiner. So if your views are not very clear, they are very tangled, you haven't completed your view 1 nicely, like with a lot of examples and explanation should be there for each view, you may not get a high score. That is how writing task 2 is conducted. Just want to tell you one more information. If the topic hadn't been, do you agree or disagree? If the topic had been, discuss both the views, then you would have designed or you would have conducted 4 paras instead of 3. So introduction, agreement, and then disagreement also, because you have been asked both the views. If you are asked both the views, 4 paras, otherwise just write down 3 paras. I hope the lecture was productive. Keep looking at a lot of questions given in Cambridge books from book 5 to book 14. All good questions are mentioned, and try to test your ability by writing on such topics. Thank you.